Hey everyone, welcome back. I'm Michael and we're going to be getting right back into some more Reddit stories. If you enjoy the video, make sure to leave a like and subscribe. Now, without further ado, let's begin. This story was posted by a user named Weekly Ear in the AITA subreddit. The post is titled, "My daughter is sad because I attended my niece's art showcase instead of her theater showcase. My daughter had her school's winter showcase last weekend. It wasn't a full play, but a collection of scenes and monologues from different performances that drama students had been working on. My daughter had a good role in one of the featured scenes and was really excited about it. While she never outright asked me to be there, I knew it was important to her. The issue was that my niece had her first big art showcase that same night. My sister's husband passed away when my niece was little, and since then I've stepped in where I can. My niece is incredibly talented in painting, and this was her first time having her work displayed in a real gallery alongside other student artists. My niece made it clear leading up to the event that she really wanted me there. I had already told her beforehand that I couldn't come because I was going to my daughter's showcase, and while she said she understood, I could tell she was sad. The night before the event, however, she called me and broke down in tears, telling me how much it would mean for her to have me there. She said she felt like this was one of the biggest moments of her life, and she wanted me to be proud of her the way a dad would be. That completely shattered me. I felt like if I didn't go, I would be letting her down in a way that would stay with her for a long time. So after the call, I spoke with my daughter and my wife and asked them if I could go to my niece's showcase, and they did give me the go-ahead. However, the day after the event, my daughter was really sad and upset. I did feel guilty, but I also asked for permission from both her and my wife before I decided to go to my niece's showcase. My wife, however, told me that I should have stuck to my original plan regardless, and that our daughter has even cried a few times since her showcase. Am I wrong? Update. The past couple of weeks have not been easy. I understand that what I did was not okay, and I truly didn't grasp the depth of what my daughter was feeling until I had a long talk with her where she bared her feelings. When she cried and cried, it really drove home that I was the one responsible for all this. However, I think yesterday was a really special day. My wife encouraged me to take our daughter out for the whole day and make it special for her. So I did. We did a lot of fun things yesterday, went to a movie, went shopping where I got her a bunch of gifts, had lunch and dinner at a nice restaurant. It was a really special day. At the end of the day, when my daughter and I came back home, she hugged me for minutes. It was the first time in a long while she did that, and it was really special. Having said all that, I don't think what my niece did was wrong at all. I was the one who was wrong, not her. She just wanted a father figure to attend one of the most important days of her life. I met with my sister and her a couple of days ago, and I told them that we had to be more discreet and also more empathetic to my daughter. I told them that we can still hang out and do fun things, but I can't do it at the expense of my daughter anymore. My sister and my niece were really open to it, and we actually had a great day and did a lot of fun things that evening. My sister and my niece are genuinely nice and empathetic people, and I couldn't be luckier to have them in my life. I will still hang out with them because both are really important to me, but if there is a time conflict with my daughter in the future, I will choose my daughter first. Hufflepuff Knitter said, "I can just see it 10 years down the road. OP's daughter is getting married, and magically his niece will also be getting married that day or have some other super important event that she needs a dad for that OP will go to instead of his daughter's wedding." To this, 41 Flavors said, "If he is, it will be his absolute last chance. One final moment to show he is actually a dad. I want him to come through for his daughter's sake. My dad always chose me, and it breaks my heart to even imagine if he didn't." But OP sounds like he gets off on being a hero, which he isn't, not when his own daughter is constantly told to suck it up, probably with the words that she doesn't know what it's like to not have a dad. TXA 1265 said, "The daughter is so starved for any signs of love from him that after a single performative day, where he is very much the absentee father overindulging the child he never sees, she is overwhelmingly happy. That all made me so sad for the daughter." This next post was made in the relationship advice subreddit by a throwaway account. The post is titled, "My wife cheated and is now pregnant. Long story short, my wife Anna cheated on me. I don't know why. She says she doesn't know why either. Anytime I ask anything, it's just a river of tears. She says sorry and begs me to forgive her and forget it, but I can't. Leaving hasn't been easy either. We have 2 boys together. She's my high school sweetheart. Our families are longtime friends and are still close. They've all urged me to stay for the kids, to forgive her since it was one time, to not give up all the good because of one bad. But the worst part is she's pregnant. I found out about the pregnancy from my mother as I had Anna blocked and wasn't living in the same house anymore. I demanded a paternity test. She readily agreed and swore she'd get rid of the child if it's not mine. She's had nothing but curse words for her affair partner, but since getting caught, all she's done is curse the guy and herself and cry. She's threatened to end herself. All she does is hug the boys and cry. I'm waiting on the results. I'll divorce her anyway, but she says the baby is definitely mine. She says she slept with him once, whereas we'd been intimate pretty much every night during her affair. It lasted 2 months, I think. They met, talked, and slept only once if I'm to believe her. I don't know why, but the idea of the child being mine disgusts me. It feels like she couldn't commit to anything, not to me nor the other guy. Why was she cheating if I was satisfying her? How is it that she wanted to talk about her feelings with some random man but not me? How was she sharing her deepest thoughts and feelings with this guy and being with me at once? How does that even work? I've always thought cheating was because you weren't being fulfilled by your partner at home. I've read all of these stories of wives leaving their kids, denying affection to their husbands, making jokes at the husband's expense, ruining the men financially, etc. She's done none of that. She's still the best mother I could have hoped for my sons. They love her more than they love me, I know. She was still the same loving and giving woman I fell for while she was with the other guy. I saw her text and every other text is, "I love my husband." I don't understand. I can't make heads or tails of this situation. If I did give her a baby, am I expected to forget and move back in? What if I can't do that? It's easy hating the child now because that might be her affair partner's. But what if it's mine and I still hate it? I genuinely don't know how to be without her. Our entire lives are interwoven. Some days, I want to go back to the blissful ignorance I was living in. The DNA report takes a week, I believe. It's been 3 days. My sister says my wife just looks at our wedding photos and cries. We have a whole junkyard collection worth of pictures and memories. She begged me to go see her once. I am clueless about how to proceed. It would have been so much easier if she had been a horrible woman for those 2 months that I could begin to look back and hate, but I can't. Life had been as normal and sweet as ever. I don't even have a bad memory of her I can use to hate her. Our last big fight before this, I can't even remember. I'm going to see her and my boys tomorrow. I think I'll ask for DNA tests on them too. I know they're mine, but you never know. Maybe I'll do it just to hurt her. Maybe I'll find something and I'll just hurt myself more. But that feels so unfair to the boys. Just how do I make sense of this? Update. Edit, I called her. She was crying again but agreed to meet with me. I told her I was going ahead with the divorce one way or another. Whether we can ever reconcile a few years later fully depends on her honesty. She was crying and her voice sounded rough. But after a while, she said she would tell me everything. For some reason, she asked me to bring my sister along. My sister hasn't said anything either. I'm only praying my sister doesn't turn out to be an accomplice or something. She didn't beg for forgiveness or say, think about our kids. After I told her how manipulative she was sounding, she seemed genuinely shocked to realize how she was holding me hostage with her threats. Does that mean something deeper? Are these the actions of someone who has remorse? Edit, I talked to her. She showed me all the evidence and I found out who the man was. I am certain now that she was in fact assaulted. However, Anna doesn't seem to think so. She says she didn't fight back and had goaded him, which made him attack her. I cannot update because Reddit is being strange. I have decided to put everything on hold for now and just take her to counseling. Nothing else until I get the paternity results on the baby. Thank you so much for all the advice. Update 2. So the DNA reports came back and the baby is mine. I wasn't even surprised at this point. The day we sat down and talked, she told me she had returned home to immediately take her birth control pill. So she was certain the baby would be mine, and she once again said if by any chance it was the other guy's, she would abort the baby, that she had no plans or desire to have kids with anyone except me. I won't lie, her words were a good comfort to me. I could tell she was telling the truth. I've been reading too many stories of men finding out their wives were all too willing to have some random man's child. I cannot lie. Even the idea of that made me sick. I asked her if she'd keep this baby even if I filed for divorce. She said yes. So that's where we're at in terms of the baby. As for the other guy, not disclosing too many details, it was a relative of hers, an older cousin who had been harassing her for a long time. She just never said anything to me or complained because her family are obsessed with the entire family comes before all mindset. I'm seeing this pressure to keep everything together happen to me in real time after all. Anyway, long story short, he had returned to our hometown around 3 months ago and started texting, following, and harassing her. Hence all the blocked numbers and repeated texts of being happy with me and loving only me. She admitted to sending him a videotape of us being intimate as a way to make him ashamed of her and leave her alone, that she had repeatedly spoken about me and mocked him when he insisted he could do better. She thinks all this goading and insulting triggered him to attack her, and she never said anything to me because she is certain it was her fault for engaging with him. That if she had ignored him like before, he'd have just left her alone. I've seen enough texts, confronted enough people, and heard enough to confirm she isn't lying. Now I'm just focused on getting this woman the therapy it turns out she has needed for a long time. I have decided on legal separation for now, but haven't met with the lawyer yet. Our kids will have both of us, of course, and I'm happy to know at least my irrational hate for the baby is gone. It's the only positive thing I'm feeling right now. I'm beginning to think clearer now. Reddit has helped me feel confident in protecting myself. I don't feel quite so selfish now. I will support Anna because she desperately needs it. Our relationship needs work, but that comes second to her health, our baby, and our sons. I'm going to work on us, but I'm also taking steps to protect myself and the boys. I have Reddit to thank for giving me the confidence to do this and not feel guilty. Much thanks for that. Edit, I am not divorcing her. It's a temporary separation because she needs to heal first before we can be a couple again. Her response to being harassed by that man was putting herself on me. She admitted our first time was in part influenced by his obsession with her virginity, meaning our first time happened before she was actually ready for something like that. Her response to his text was sending intimate videos of us. Her response to me trying to get some space was trying to seduce me back into bed with her. I'm not a therapist, but that attitude is not healthy. That much even I can tell. Right now, her idea of therapy is to pretend like nothing happened and try to get intimate with me at any opportunity. And she takes me saying no as rejecting her for being used. I'm not helping her with the separation, I know, but I can tell I'm not helping her cope by being too close either. A little separation is best, as suggested by the therapist and lawyer. Yes, I know she didn't cheat, it's just that the title has to be the same for an update. I'm not calling her assault cheating. A deleted user said, I remember people being really divided between she's going down the list of the cheater's handbook and people deal with trauma in really weird ways. I'm not sure what to think of it. Lil Miss Stormcloud said they need to go no contact with the wife's family and press charges against the cousin. It is obvious the wife's mother and aunt still do not believe the cousin is a predator and are influencing the way the wife is thinking. I am so disgusted with the mother and feel so sorry for the wife being stuck in the trauma mindset with her cousin. This next post was made in the AITA subreddit by a user named Non-Curious Walrus. The post is titled, I agreed to divorce after I almost cheated on my wife. I almost cheated on my wife due to sexual frustration. I went on a business trip out of state and there I met a woman at a bar. We started chatting and felt a spark. We exchanged numbers and some flirty texts, and she invited me over to her house. I was planning to go, but I didn't. I just went outside, got hammered, and slept it off. A week ago, my wife went through my phone and discovered those texts. I confessed and told her what happened. She didn't believe that I didn't have sex with her. She called me a cheater. Last week was basically her ignoring me. The day before yesterday, she asked for a divorce and I agreed without any resistance. Our marriage should have ended the moment our sex life went to shit. I wasted years on a marriage that was doomed anyway. I was never the one who held on to a bad relationship. I was always willing to walk away when a relationship was not right for me. She was the only woman I didn't think of leaving. She was special to me. That's why I married her, and the thought of leaving her never crossed my mind. It made me give a dead-end relationship more time than it deserved. So I told her that I also think it's time we end this sham that we call a marriage. I am also somewhat glad all this happened. Otherwise, I would have sleepwalked through my life in a marriage that made me miserable. I also feel lucky that I didn't actually have sex with the woman on my work trip. Even when I look back, I can't believe I made the right decision not to go through with it. I don't even know why I stopped. It was pure luck. My wife took my acceptance of her proposal for divorce as a sign that I actually cheated. She accused me of wanting to run back to my whore and abandon our children. She didn't believe me before, so I was in no mood to correct her. I will not be abandoning our kids. I did decide to apologize to that woman. I apologized for ghosting her and gave the excuse that I was drunk and fell asleep, which is true. She replied with no worries and a gif of a dog drinking champagne, which was very nice of her to do. I don't think I will meet her ever again, so I don't think she needs to know more than that. Maybe I will tell her about it after the divorce. My wife demanded to see my phone and I gave it to her. She saw the text of me apologizing and her reply and got mad at me. She said I am scheming with that woman to gaslight her into thinking that I didn't cheat. She has actually accused me of gaslighting her for stupid things before, but this time it would have actually made sense if it were true. I said to her that if she does not have to believe me to divorce me, she should quit the opposite, which made her more mad. I don't even know how to get through to my wife. I would have left the house if I didn't have kids, but I can't do that for now. Am I wrong here? What am I even supposed to do? Update. So I took some of your advice and decided to create proper boundaries. I basically told her that I am not her punching bag and I will not discuss anything if she does not engage in a calm and respectful way. I also told her that since we are getting a divorce, she is not allowed to ask for or look at my phone anymore. She needs to respect my privacy since what I do from now on is none of her business. She went kinda mad, stomping around, banging doors, etc., but I ignored her. I basically refused to engage with her. She calmed down after some time and asked me if I had seriously had sex with that other woman, and I replied with the truth that I hadn't, and she is free to not believe me if that's what she wants. She then started blaming me for not talking about how important sex was for me. She blamed me for not taking her on dates and all other excuses that even she didn't believe if I am being honest. There was no conviction in her voice. I said to her that I do not care anymore what her reasons were and who is to blame. It's a moot point. It's not the time to look back, it's time to move forward. She floated the idea of therapy and I rejected it because I don't see value in pouring thousands of dollars into it for them to tell me that I should have left her years ago. I am taking a hardline approach with my wife now. I basically told her that if she wants to tell others that I had an emotional affair, then she is free to do so. I don't believe it is an emotional affair, but some people here pointed out it is, so I'm going with it. I told her that we need to get the ball rolling for divorce now and be done with each other. I stand by my comment that this marriage is a sham and it should have ended a long time ago. I should have ended it a long time ago. Now she seems to be obsessed with the idea that I am going to sleep with the woman I met at the bar. I basically told her that since we are divorcing, who I sleep with is none of her business. And you know what? I would like to engage with her after the divorce. Why shouldn't I? She was interesting and interested in me. My wife then suddenly decided that she is going to schedule sex with me, which I rejected. I don't want sex from her. I want a divorce from her. I have never had duty sex and it just sounds awful. I can get better quality sex after divorce than shitty sex from her once a week. I have basically come to the realization that there is nothing my wife can do that a new woman can't do better. Better sex, better behavior, better relationship, and better everything. I have been so blind. I wasted so much of my life on this relationship. I could have had a better life just by walking away from her, and like a bozo, I stayed because I thought she was special. I thought she was special because I loved her, so I ignored how much better my life could have been without her. Now the veil is lifted and I am left with regrets of not ending it sooner. So yes, people were right that I was being wishy-washy about divorce because I was not 100% sure. Now I am sure that it's the right choice for me. So this chapter of my life is over and a new one is going to begin soon. So Very Sleepy said, I always really want to know the other side in this type of post. When it is obvious that we are getting a very skewed and one-sided explanation of a situation, I am always just so curious about what the other person's story is. To this Alien 8R said, I swear it could be one of my friends who is going through this exact thing. In her life, she basically stopped having sex with no discussion, no conversation, no nothing. She believes her husband just has to accept it. He's getting older and she thinks his desire will fade. She thinks he's being really superficial and needs mental health care because sex is a deal breaker for him. She simply does not understand and believes every other woman on earth does not want to have sex either after 40, that this is the natural thing and he clearly must be a sex addict because he's being so ridiculous about this. I've tried to help her through this, but she's so adamant. She found out last week her husband was cheating on her. Now he wants a divorce and she thinks that's insane. She has asked so many times why he couldn't just be content with cuddling. Why does it always have to lead to something? His response was, it doesn't always have to lead to something, but sometimes it should, and it hasn't for too many years. They are getting divorced. I hope to help her through this, but she needs to understand that just because she is essentially asexual, the rest of the world doesn't need to be asexual either. When she changed the goalposts in her relationship, that's when her relationship changed. She's been a very good friend over the years, but I understand her husband's point. I think this is best for them both and their family. I hope she'll be able to get through this. Unfortunately, she is not interested in a therapist because that is what she does for a living, which makes me wonder what she tells her clients who are in a similar situation. Thank you so much for making it to the end of the video, and thank you also to partner of the channel, GamerSupps. Use code DLAM to support the channel and get 10% off of your purchase, link in the description. I'm sure many of you like me have a hankering for daily caffeine, so go check them out. Lately, I've been a big fan of Titty Milk and Acid Rain, but they've got dozens of other flavors for y'all to try out. Anyway, thanks again for reaching the end, and I hope you all have an amazing passage of the next 24 hours.